Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forged Alliance Forever. Today I have a 5v5 custom matcher on the most amazing Neuroxys map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Team 1 in the southwest, ending with Team 2 in the northeast. Starting off with Team 1 southwesternmost player in orange, the color orange in the rear guard. So it is EVA Magi going first line as a UEF. He is a 2,000 rated player, the highest rated player on Team 1 and in the game overall. To his east in Ruby Red is God Osiris going first line as an Aeon. He is a 1,000 rated. To his northwest, we have in Snow White Space Cook going first land as a Cybran. He is an 1,100. To his west, we have in Royal Blue Carlos PT going first land as a Cybran as well. He is a 1,300. And last but not least, for Team 1 in Amethyst Purple is Boom King going first land as an Aeon. He is a 1,400. So for Team 1 side of the map, they have 2 Aeon, 2 Cybran, and 1 UEF, which means Team 1 lacks Seraphim technology. Starting off with Team 2 southeasternmost player in Chevy Crimson, it is the Aggro going first line as a UEF. He is a 1,600. To his north in Forest Green, we have Chuckle Buns going first line as a Seraphim, the one and only of the game. He is a 1,300. To his northeast in the rear guard, I guess north straight, is Nogetsune going first line as a Cybran. He is a 1,600, the highest rated player on team. He's tied for the highest rated player on Team 2 with the egg roll. And in Imperial Gray, we have Dead 6 going first line as another Cybran here for Team 2. He is a 1,300. And last but not least, for Team 2 in the northwest corner of the map in Stitch Blue, Blue Shirt Guy going first line as a Cybran. He is a 1,200. Must be a fan of the movie Fall Guy from with Ryan Reynolds. So for Team 2 side of the map, they have 3 Cybran, 1 UEF, and 1 Seraphim, which means Team 2 lacks Aeon technology, Team 1 lacks Seraphim technology. And for 10 players on the map, how much reclaim do they have to scoop up? Doesn't really look like a whole lot. Total numbers are sitting at 6,000, so 600 mass per player. Not really a whole lot of mass to scoop up. Not really any worry because it's pretty much spread out. There's a decent concentration in the pond over here in the southeast and the northwest. A little bit in the middle, but besides that, there's really not a whole lot to scoop up. Our players are going to be a little bit more focused on the mass extractor locations on the map. Let's take a look at those for Team 1 side of the map. They have a Trimex and a Trimex over here, and not really a whole lot of them besides that. So not really a lot of mass on the map in terms of reclaim and in mechs counts. There's nothing in the middle of the map besides one lonely little mechs in the southeast and northwest corners of the map. So with that out of the way, there's really not a lot for our players to go after. We are seeing a lot of movement outbound here from Team 2's comms moving to the middle of the map. The rearguard airsoft player still focusing on going for his T1 P-gens. And he might move to the middle of the map. There's going to be mainly 2 avenues of attack here for these players. Going to be the west and the east, with probably a little bit of pond action. It is a decent amount more percentage of the map than we've seen in other games, but I don't see it playing a huge role. I mean, Team 2 does have a lot of Cybrans, so we could see a couple of Salems walk around the map here, but I don't really see any case where that's going to be super effective, especially because there's not really a whole lot of territory to realistically go after with that, the naval play. I mean, maybe we'll see some missile ships, maybe we'll see some cruisers from either UEF or Seraphim variety with those missile launcher capable ships, but I don't really see much of anything in Navy. We are seeing a naval facility has been started for the egg roll. He is UEF, so if he does go for that cruiser route, it will make sense. It can easily destroy God Osiris's base if he doesn't get TMD online sooner. But it looks like, as of right now, it's going to be 2v1 on the land side of things for the eastern side and 2v2 in the west, with the rearguard air slot players, at least as of right now, not really participating too much. We are seeing Magi push forward, though, so it looks like it's actually going to be 3v1. Apologies for that, not noticing he has already moved. But Team 2's rearguard air slot player of Nogetsune still sitting in his base. I don't really see him coming to the front lines as of yet. He might later on, probably about 10 minutes or so, but as of right now, I don't really see him going for much of anything as of yet. We are seeing a nice little Aurora run around here for Boom King, trying to isolate Team 2's efforts to go for that northwestern max. And in the southeastern pond, same strategy here, using those Aurora to run around. The sub is ineffective against hover tech because the units aren't actually in the water, so it can't really target them. And the engineer as well is hover, so can't target that unit as well. Looks like he's going to reclaim that T1 Seraphim facility. Actually, maybe it's T2, given there's like the two little hover thingamajigs over there. So it can't be T1 because I don't see that being the case here. We are seeing Eva Magi move around, just kind of getting a little bit of a reclaim here on the edge of the map. Lots of production facilities being established by both of these comms for Team 1. Gun speed and range has been started for Carlos in the west. Gun speed and range started here for Dead 6. Both of them are Cybrans. We're seeing another Cybran here, a blue shirt guy versus Boom King. So a little bit of hit point advantages for Team 1, but ever so slightly, just 1,000 more hit points on board Team 1's comm. But again, blue shirt guy is pushing forward. Doesn't have any upgrades on board as of yet, but trying to get some veterancy to compensate for the lack of upgrades. Again, still looking like Chocobun's just going to sit here all by his lonesome. Doesn't have any facilities nearby. Getting a nice little wall section assist by the egg roll. The egg roll focusing on naval production. Now going for a frigate. We are seeing a nice little facility might be established here for Team 1's God of Osiris. God Osiris, not God of Osiris. But I don't really see that we're really going anywhere because there are already naval units here for the egg roll. Those look like we are seeing two comms on Team 1 push the middle, going after the wall sections, going after the engineers specifically, but wouldn't be surprised to see them target some more of the wall section to take those out. Very nice and quick. Gun speed and range has been started for the blue shirt guy. Gun speed and range has been stopped for Carlos. Boom King not going for any upgrades, so we could see a scenario in which Team 2 has both of the upgraded comms online and might force back Team 1. Passable, says Boom King. So yeah, those units can walk around. Not very convenient, but units can walk back and forth around that territory, so we're going to have to watch out for any sort of flanking maneuvers from either of those teams. T2 has been started here for Chocobuns. I feel like it's a little bit too late, though. Those Aurora are coming into range. There is a T1 PD pin established, and those Aurora being sent in. They are very weak in terms of hit points, so not really the best idea assaulting a base directly without some assistance. And now we're seeing a third movement here outbound from Space Cook's forces trying to go around the comm, trying to distract those units for Chocobuns, allowing for God Osiris and Eva Magi to move in and intercept. We're seeing the egg roll having to fall back to deal with the incursion from God Osiris in the east. Stealth has been started for blue shirt guy. Gun range has been started for Boom King. Carlos's upgrade has finished off. Once that range upgrade finishes, we'll probably see the speed next. And now with Dead 6, with that upgrade first, we'll be able to push back Team 1's forces ever so slightly in the west. Stealth has been started here for Space Cook. Not going for the gun as of yet, but Eva Magi and God Osiris being able to force back Chocobuns. He was able to finish that T2 upgrade, but unfortunately he might start losing territory here. God Osiris pushing forward, probably needs to fall back just a little bit. There is no range advantage between those two commanders, but there are a couple of PD that have already been built and heavily invested here by the egg roll. Going for gun damage as we speak. Magi moving in as well to try to assist God Osiris's retreat. And I feel like Space Cook, even though he doesn't have any upgrades, at least as right on, should have just sent his comment to assist. He would have easily been able to steamroll this position with 3 comms, force back Chocobuns, but now he has T2 online. Going to be able to establish a nice little exclusion zone, force back Team 1 even further on that eastern side, and really be very efficient with dealing with 2-3 comms as units and, comms themselves, versus only having essentially main assistance from the egg roll. Not a lot of foot assistance, but a decent amount, and of course Chocobuns himself. So 2v3 here on the east, and 2v2 in the west, with Team 2's regular play of Nogatsine going for T3 air facilities. Team 1's rearguard airsoft play of Magi also going for T3. They're trying to blitz down that upgrade very, very quickly. Nano repair has been started for blue shirt guy, getting all those upgrades on board, trying to face off against the Aeon sniper commander of Boom King and Carlos. Dead 6 is in the yellow, has to send his forces in, allowing him to retreat. And this will provide a decent amount of veterancy here for both of these players in the west. And no efforts from Team 2 to try to kick out Team 1's northwestern island. Same thing here in the southeast for Team 2's the egg roll. Sensor package has started here for God Osiris, trying to get a nice little view on the map in that regard. Very useful for gaining intel, especially early on. You see a huge chunk of the map, especially this map size, where it's not even 20 by 20. So that percentage of the map that is seen by the com is huge. Nano repair almost done in the west. If Team 1's comms can push in far enough, I don't know if they'll cancel that upgrade, but they'll do significant damage to the comm. And Dead 6 did have to retreat into the water, so now it's a 2v1. So even with that nano repair on board, it might be enough for Team 1 to break through and start taking out some further back facilities and units here for Team 2. Anyone got E, says the egg roll. It looks like he did finish T2. Gonna go for some more P-gens. Looks like energy has been sent to the egg roll by Chuckle Buns. He doesn't have a lot, but it's something. He says thanks. Again, something is better than nothing. Wall sections are going to be established to prevent any incursion from this like mountainous territory. We do see Space Cook moving in, but again, facing down Chuckle Buns is T2. Engineering Suite Commander going for some Utashalas will force any sort of incursion from Team 1 to fall back. And now we see Dead 6 coming back out of the water. Boom King being shot down by Blue Shirts Guy's Commander. We are seeing some Rhinos start to appear here for Team 2. And Carlo's going to start facing off against those units as well, trying to intercede for his teammate of Boom King to aid in his retreat. Blue Shirt Guy trying to press the attack with that gun. Nano Commander. Boom King receiving some fire from the skies. And again, with that Aeon Sniper Commander is able to attack a little bit further out of range than all these other players. And is getting a decent amount of efficiency here. 1 star has been collected. 1 star almost online here for Carlos. Still going after the commander, but trying to blitz him down. Probably would be better off to take out the units first. And with the assistance of Boom King, it might be enough to force back Team 2's comms. Dead 6 doesn't have any nano or stealth online, just has gun. That might be enough. Carlos still trying to stand stalwart in his defense, but is still being pushed back by Team 2. Team 2's comms are still forcing their way forward into Team 1's territory. Have to be very careful, though, because the further they go in, the longer it'll take them to come back. And now we see Chuckle Buns moving around and over the mountainous territory. Will force back Space Cook's comm. He does have some units nearby he could send through the gap. And now Team 1 has more upgrades on board. God Osiris has T2 and Sensor. Eva Magi does not. And this is the view that he can see. Team 1 getting a huge amount of value out of this comm alone, being able to see a ton of the map on the eastern side of the land engagement. And it does look like Blue Shirt and Dead 6 will start to at least make efforts to retreat. We're not seeing a lot of effort to do that as of yet, but still trying to keep the pressure on while kind of having a nice little, okay, I can fall back if I need to approach. T3 air has been established by Carlos as well as the main Brigador player of Magi. So 2 air players for Team 1. Team 2, have you done a similar thing? No. So Team 1 will have the advantage in air sooner rather than later if Team 1 puts a lot of emphasis on the production of air units. It does, however, limit Carlos's ability to fight on land because he only has T2 instead of T3, which he could have, but his opponents only have T2 as we speak, working on T3, or at least one of them is as it goes. And we do see Chuckle Buns has climbed over the mountainside, but Cook is nearby trying to force him back. PD being built and destroyed very, very quickly here in this corner of the map. 1-star veterancy is in Space Cook's view. Just needs nice little overcharges to deal with the rest of the veterancy he needs. And he's at almost 800, and he will be forced back just with the hordes of units and PD nearby. Eva Magi going to be forced back as well. Tries to kill off a couple of those PD, but will not be able to do so. Needs a couple of nice T2 bombers, I think, to just deal with the rest of those emplacements. We do see God Osiris doing the exact same thing on the other side of the mountain, trying to force back the egg rolls position with some PD that are being established by God Osiris over there. And stealth has been started for Dead 6. Might go for Nano next, I would assume. Boom King trying to force his way forward to force back Blue Shirts guys. Advance. He does have a lot of assistance from his teammate of Dead 6 in T2 units. But Boom King has to be very careful. He doesn't have a lot of regen on board that commander. He only has 16 hit points a second regen. We'll probably get up to 22, I think, when you get some more efficiency. on board. Getting some PD built as well will help assisting with that. There it is, T, 22 hit points a second and 10% more base hit points on board that commander. ASF production in full swing here for Magi. And we see some whalers start to be established here for Carlos. Probably could just go for some T2 gunships to put the pressure on the western side. Stealth is almost done for Dead 6. And like I said, he would probably build Nano here very shortly. But again, very similar situation in the east. Just kind of hanging out here on these sides of the mountain. Nano has been started in the, obviously in the west by Dead 6's commander. T2 Naval Tech has been built by the Aggro. Isn't producing anything as of yet. Well, hasn't produced anything as of yet, but it looks like he's going for those cruisers. We'll be able to lock out God of Osiris's base here pretty shortly. T3 land is online. So he does have some TMD as well in preparation for said incursion by missiles. So he's already prepared for that. Good preparations by God Osiris, but now he's dealing with attacks over here by that cruiser, but he already has some TMD as well. Probably needs to get a couple more. Some missiles will start to break through if enough are made, but looks like he'll be fine for now. And the only downside with Chucklebuns being over here is he's kind of forced himself like literally into a corner. He has a little bit of avenue of escape, but those structures kind of provide a much more of a nuisance to get by. We do see Nano Repair, again, as stated earlier by Dead 6. Almost done here, getting us some assistance from Blue Shirt as well. And Boom King going to use that Aeon Cyber Commander to his best advantage here. But has to be very careful because these two comms could easily turn around and easily walk him down if he is not careful. Repair has been started by Carlos as well. Going to start expanding his power grid and then his air grid after that, I would presume. And T3 units starting to be established here by Osiris, but being blitzed down by the Eggro's commander, using his comm to protect his PD investments. And Ilshi's coming in to assist as well. Team 1 has to be very careful that it could be easily run by either on the water side of things, the beach, or on the western side, especially because there's a lot of defenses being built here. Essentially, Chucklebun's now going to just leave just in case he gets cornered over there, which probably a good idea. And Blue Shirt Guy and Dead 6 forcing back Boom King. Boom King has the range advantage, but unfortunately it just doesn't have the ability to regen hit points like these other two commanders do. And waves of bombers are inbound, going after those Obsidians, just ripping those units apart. Blue Shirt Guy falling into the yellow. We have some Rhinos and some Obsidians again coming into range of that commander. Dead 6 going to intercede for his teammate. Overcharges constantly, NPD being built all the time. I would like to see more gunships online here for Team 1 to really blitz down these two commanders. But we do see a lot of Mantis coming in to just throw themselves in front of all of this firepower coming out from Team 1's side. And we see those whalers starting to be established by Carlos. Again, would like to see them sent in, but I feel like a lot of these units here from Team 2 are just running in to die, trying to save the commanders. I mean, sometimes that's all you can do. But decent amount of mass here on Team 1's doorstep to scoop up. Team 2 is just handing more and more mass over. Not necessarily the best idea, but at the same time, we see the Aggro using the cruiser missile launcher capable cruisers from the UEF, the Governor class, going after some T2 Mechs here for Osiris. Missile launcher outbound, going after the commander. Will miss, but I love the attempt. Will also get shot down anyway, so even if the comm didn't move, it still would have been ineffective. RAS has been started by Magi. Team 2's regular desktop player still pumping out ASF. Still only has one facility. Probably should start expanding a little bit more. No efforts by anybody else on Team 2 to go for said air. So Team 1 again still has that advantage in air. Not pressuring the advantage as of yet. And now we see more and more T2 Mechs being killed off by those cruisers. A large amount of value out of those so far. And of course there are some cruisers trying to assault the main base, but not really getting anywhere with the Team D nearby. Laser has been started by Carlos, very interestingly. Maybe he'll go for cloaking and assault the front line. But with a lot of T2 missile launchers online here for him, he'll be very effective in dealing with those units building up here. We have gunships outbound. There are broadswords. Would love to see those whalers come in to assist this push as well, just to deal the final death blow to all of those flak cannons. Looks like one of them has been taken out. And a couple of T1s as well. Interceptors coming in on collision course for those gunships. And the ASFs will come in to assist that destruction of inferior units. You don't see any response from Team 2's ASF. Looks like they might go in for an attack. Looks like they have been given orders to do so. Gunships will continue to pressure this, and it will give a lot of momentum in Team 1's direction to continue to move on forward. God Osiris being pinned down by PD and missile launchers and Ravagers. We could see the first evacuation of this game, the first death on the scoreboard. God Osiris needs to get out of there immediately. His base is going to crumble. There's not much he can do about it at this point. And his comm has been given orders to move, but it's too late. He's being constantly, hemmed in by his own engineers. And Team 1 does have some bricks in the form of Space Cook to move in. Actually, Chocobun's just allowing Osiris to escape. This does not allow for Osiris to, quote unquote, die, so it's gifted over, mass gifted over to Magi. Definitely an interesting move. Team 2 not going in for the kill, but Team 1 is going after Dead 6 Commander with those gunships. ASFs did have a fight early on, but looks like the orange ASFs from Team 1 are able to kill off the purple ones from Team 2. And now those whalers and gunships love the mixture of units here. Going to be able to blitz down the rest of those structures for Team 2. It's now a 5v4 in favor of Team 1. And those missile launchers, capable cruisers, really doing a number on Team 1's base. These Osiris's, more Team D are being built all the time. Again, they are not perfect, those TMDs, but they are very effective. I will give them that. More AA is going to be established all around the bases here for Team 2 in response to Team 1's gunships. You do see this base over here could easily be destroyed, but looks like they're going after more T3 investment. Looks like the whalers don't want to engage. One of them will get shot down. It looks like they're actually going to be redirected to this outcropping of bases. More gunships going to be thrown at this little fire base that Chocobuns did establish. It will get taken out very, very quickly. Here, going to take out the AA first. Should be the first priority, and then the shield, and then the PD in that order. Team 2's blue shirt guy trying to hold on. Aeon Sniper Commander repped up back to full HP, sitting at 28 hit points a second, regen 3-star veterancy. He's just suffering here with the death of his teammate of Dead 6. 2v1 on T3 Air, says Dead 6. It does make a difference, so I wouldn't be surprised to see somebody on Team 2 shift gears and go for that. No naval production in the northern pond. Obviously, the naval production in the southeast has been talked about for a decent amount of time. More and more cruisers being established and not stopping here at this point. It's really the only unit that he can use unless he goes to T3 summits, but at that point, I don't really think that's a worthy investment with a lot of mass and energy to spend on that when you can just build more and more cruisers and you can get AA and missile launchers out of it. So, 2 for 1's definitely a better deal there. Blue shirt guy still pushing forward, but again, Team 1 has to watch out for the fact that they can't really see him unless they have Omni on him. So definitely going to have to be something to watch out for, and that's essentially what's occurring. He's not being targeted. Oh, Obsidian moves forward and just get immediately destroyed. 5-star veterancy on board. Blue shirt's commander. Cloaking has been started by Carlos. He has the laser upgrade online, and the TMD starting to be worn down here by those cruisers. It's just not being super effective now. T3 Serenity Artillery trying to force these cruisers to keep moving. I would love to see some loyalists down here from somebody on Team 1, that being Carlos or Space Cook, be able to redirect those missiles back at the cruisers. They'd be very effective, mixing those in with some TMD. And some bricks and some Harbingers have some Harbingers and some Ilshis have some discussions about shooting into the territory, shooting into land. But looks like the bricks are able to overwhelm their opponents. Again, T3 units versus T2 isn't really going to work, even if they are T2.5 units, but we're talking about the fire rate, the hit points just severely favors Cybran bricks versus the Seraphim Ilshis. And shield will be established on Boom King's demand. They're pretty far forward, though. Needs to be careful to not get sniped by these bricks or any other units outbound from Team 2. You can see the territory just start to dwindle here for Team 2 on this western side. Cloaking still coming online. It's taking a while for that. Looks like more pigeons are needed to fund that upgrade. And now ASF flyover looks like some pseudo-naval units outbound from Osiris with those blazes going after the T2 naval headquarters that's already been destroyed. So either it was Control Cade or just dealt. Actually, no, it wasn't Control Cade. It was these gunships now ripping through the eastern edge of the Egg Roll's base. They're going to continue on northward. It looks like maybe they're going to go for the rearguard air slot. That's a lot. That is a lot of hives. That is just... wow, that's a lot of hives, essentially. Look at that. That's a lot. That is an excessive amount of engineering stations. And now it's going to stop off at Chuckle Buns' base. Could go after the P-Gen for taking out the energy production facilities. That'd be a great grab here. Looks like they're going after all the engineers building AA. Go after the P-Gens. They're going after the Mechs, which is always a good thing, but can kill off one of the T2 P-Gens. T3 land headquarters is the target as well. Just tons of damage going down here on Team 2 side of the map with these gunships. They will kill off the T3 land headquarters. They will finish off the T3 mechs. Now they're going after the mechs for Nogetsune, the rearguard air assault player. That's going to hurt his eco ever so slightly. More AA being spammed up. Would love to see that P-Gen being taken out. Essentially would kneecap entirely Chuckle Buns' ability to really do much of it. And you could see he's only sitting at 1,800 energy income. Essentially would force him to be negative at that point. But it doesn't look like that's the priority here for Magi. Magi now going to try to assassinate the air grid. There's a lot of AA that's been built, and he's going to probably say no to that and going to retreat. Don't blame him there. That's a lot of investment. Huge engagement here by the ASFs from Nogetsune. And here they come. ASF reinforcements here from Team 1's Carlos. Oh, but they've drawn the ASFs into some AA coverage. Those gunships need to get out of range. They do kill that P-Gen. Now they're going after Chuckle Buns' commander, trying to get some value out of them before they're killed off by those ASF. And there they go. Half of the gunships are taken out. That's another comm kill here for Team 1. 24 minutes on the clock. It is now a 5v3 game in favor of Team 1. And with that, let's take a look at the game overall. As stated literally a couple seconds ago, Team 1 has 5 players remaining. Team 2 at 3 players remaining. Team 1 sitting at 940 mass income. Team 2 at 750. So let's just say about 200 mass more income here for Team 1 versus Team 2. Map control severely in favor of Team 1. And it's not really looking good here for Team 2. An entire player's eco has been completely destroyed. Well, let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win this game. And of course, if you haven't done so already, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Let's go ahead and see what's going on here with Boom King on the northwestern side of the map. Still pushing against Blue Shirt Guy. He's not allowing him to get any sort of breather. There's a lot of TMD that have been built to deter these missile launchers, these Vipers, from again, really doing significant damage. But once the missile is shot, it does split and still does do some damage. Engineers, but Bricks going after the resourcing options here for the egg roll. He's sitting on dual base. Blue Shirt Guy sitting on dual... Actually, no, yeah, he's sitting on... Actually, no, he's not sitting on dual base because Chuckle Buns has been destroyed. His entire base is gone. So, well, most of his base has been destroyed, I should say. The only player sitting on dual base technically is the egg roll. And he's doing pretty well in defending, but again, he has to build a lot more AA to defend against that eastern edge approach. He has more T3 being built and T2 as well. Actually, that's T2. He needs to build some more T3 to deal with those T3 gunships. A T2 flak is really good with against gunships, but because there's so many hit points, when they fly by, it doesn't really mean anything unless you get those T3 AA to really just pummel those hit points down. Blue Shirt Guy's not giving up. He's still sitting on the front lines trying to just deter any sort of incursions. But a bunch of Harbingers versus one Brick. I mean, I don't know why the Harbingers are retreating. They could try to kill off Blue Shirt Guy, but that would just give more mass to either the Egg Roll or Nogetsune. Nogetsune doing very well here, sitting at 360 mass income. His teammate of the Egg Roll sitting at almost 500. Huge amount of T2 engineering stations, these hives, really pumping out RASCOMs as well as the ASF, which is one of the reasons why he's able to just really just spam out those ASFs. And we see the air grids being expanded here for Carlos and for Magi. We do see Nogitsune sending his comm forward. I think he has laser on board, if I'm not mistaken. And he has cloaking as well. We could see a drop where he is trying to kill off the Aeon Sniper commander of Team 1. There it is. He gets dropped on the front line. It's going to be his very risky play. If Team 1 has Omni nearby, that will completely destroy that play. If this one was upgraded to T3, it would be enough. And this is from Team 1's perspective. Let's go to actually Boom King so we can see what he can see. But he would be right about here. There are the footsteps, right? The footsteps. There's the footsteps right there. You can see him moving forward. Team 1's probably not paying close enough attention, obviously. You wouldn't really expect it. Once the laser opens fire, that's going to be enough. No other units have Omni on board. Nogitsune actually have paused firing. They're going to go after the commander. He does have heavy shield on board. So, again, it's a very risky play. They're trying to go after that commander. Does Team 2 know where he is? They do see his radar signature, so it is the target. The laser opens up. He's in range. Team 1 cannot fight against it. Needs to send his asylums forward. Turns around. Oh, he needs to get through his units. And trying to laser down that comm. Will he get it? Yes, he will. So now Nogitsune gets a murder-suicide situation here. It's now a 4v2 in favor of Team 1. Was it worth the play? Bruh, says Doom King. GG, says Moggy. Brilliantly done, says the Egg Roll. Yeah, definitely agree with that. Didn't expect heavily. Yeah, there's too many T3 units here that really just rapid-fired him down. So it does open a little bit of some doors here for Team 2 to exploit the western side now that the main western land player has been taken out. Nogitsune to get the hives working. All Mark says dead sick. So we do see a lot of assistance from the Beyond the Grave for Team 2, trying to, again, help their 2 remaining players out. Looks like we have a naval facility heavily built far forward here for the player of Osiris, going for some T1. I think those are just frigates, I think. Right now there are some Tritons over here just shooting at those blazes on the water. But again, this game might turn into an assassination game here by Team 1 because there's only 2 players left on Team 2 side of the map, so you might as well. The downside, of course, with Team 1 killing off Nogitsune is now the air roll sitting at 1.1k mass income. Team 1 is still winning the mass generation game by a little bit, but still having most of the mass in one player's hands for Team 2 can be devastating. We could see nukes, game enders very, very quickly. We actually see a nuke, speaking of which, coming online here for the Egg Roll. He has an SMD popping up online. That nuke is a little bit under half loaded. I'd say about 40% or so. I don't see any SMDs online here for Team 1. Team 1 needs to get working on that. 30 minutes on the dot in the game so far. And they do not, they can see it. There's a lot of units surrounding it, so it's hard to actually see it, but they do know it does exist. So Boom King would definitely be helpful in spotting all of this stuff on Team 2 side of the map. Not blazes, but bricks moving forward. Monkey is going to finish. Possibly, maybe. It's going to be close. Oh, T1 engineers, are you going to be enough to finish that monkey off? Looks like the focus will be going down on the monkey. There's some tickle cannons trying to do what they can to take care of those bricks, but it's just not enough. That monkey will not finish. Definitely unfortunate here for Carlos. He is sitting nearby with his laser. He's going for T3, surprisingly, but he has to get out of dodge. Strat bombers inbound trying to deal with those bricks, and ASFs are just sitting and waiting for Team 2's ASF to move in. SMD says dead 6. Yeah, there is one SMD that has been built. Another one has been built, so maybe they've noticed the nuke. The nuke might be loaded and fired before those SMDs can be loaded as well. Carlos is in the yellow, trying to get out of range. More Harbingers and bricks coming in from the west from Magi. All these bricks here from Team 2's the air are going to be destroyed, and they're already retreating as we speak. Another Strat Bomber inbound, taking out more of the hit points on board the remaining bricks. More and more units appearing here for Blue Shirt Guy, but not going to do anything at this point. It's just going to leave mass on Team 1 side of the map. Ravagers being heavily fortifying this nuke very far forward position. You don't need to build it that far forward. You can fire it anywhere, but it does reduce the travel time, which means Team 1 can't prepare as much. SMD is built by Osiris, so now Team 2 essentially has a free shot on anybody except for Magi, I believe, would be the one that Magi and well, I mean, even Carlos could be targeted. So essentially anybody but Magi can be targeted. I feel like the best play to go for Team 2's the air grid would probably be Carlos because he has an air grid. Just taking that out, that would give a little bit more openings for his air player, or for him actually, because he's the now pseudo air player at this point. For some openings, taking out some of the stations for production. But there is a decent facility here for what was no Getsune, but now the egg roll. That is just a ton of hives, and Rascom's obviously being produced. Nuke is launching. Where is it going? And the question is, did he go for the right thing? He's going after Space Cook, which is trying to load that SMD, and he will kill Space Cook off, unfortunately, here for Team 1, so they'll lose another player. I mean, I feel like he should have gone for Carlos, but that Nuke wouldn't have loaded, and the SMD would not have loaded in time. He's not getting out of range, unfortunately. SMD did not load in time. Kaboom! Takes him out and everything else with it. That is that for him. Nice kill here by the egg roll, dropping this game to a 3v2, still in favor of Team 1. And Emissary being built, I don't agree with the placement of how close it is to the water. I feel like it should be a little bit further back, pretty much closer to Magi's base. Magi loading his SMD, that has been loaded, and building his own nuke as we speak. Does Team 2 know about that nuke? No, they do not. This SMD over here is not going to be, I don't know if it's going to be loaded in time. But there is a Colossus over here, so actually at this point, sending it over here to go after the nuke would be the best play for that Colossus. Taking out all of the AA emplacements. Looks like it's trying to clear the way for some gunships or ASF or whatever to come in. And now we have just the downside of Team 2. Just they have less players, lots of territory to deal with. They're running around the map dealing with what they can. Colossus is going to get a lot of value out of this, but still targeting only the defenses, not going after the mexes here for the egg roll. Will drop his eco just slightly. We have T2 gunships being spammed up as quickly as they can be to deal with said Colossus. I like the play. Again, if he sends it in, that nuke is dead. So if Team 1 knew where the nuke was, which they do, that Colossus should be sent after this immediately. Especially with all these gunships coming in to try to just deter that Colossus. Colossus is going to retreat, unfortunately. Huge opportunity. I mean, they took out some T3 mexes and AA defenses, but definitely missed opportunity there. T3 Mex will be killed off while he runs by, but again, I don't really agree with that play. ASF coming in to shield those gunships. The Colossus is at 2-star veterancy, so 120,000 hit points, and cruisers are being built to defend. T3 Naval Headquarters is online. Is it building a missile ship? I think that's the missile ship. That's going to really annoy the egg roll in his main base, or his main frontline base over there. Again, everything is kind of quieted down a little bit. Lots of military build up here in the west here. Crab online that was built all the way over here. Second crab being sent south. And Team 1 really doesn't have a whole lot. They have a monkey and a Colossus. More SMDs are going to be built. Don't agree with how far forward that is. Another Colossus almost half done under construction. Teleport has been started by Carlos. He might teleport in and kill off the air grid now that he has laser on board. Nuke is almost loaded. And Emissary is half built as well. Colossus pops out of the water once again, but a bunch of gunships come in and just really just deter that Colossus from going anywhere. Again, at this point, yeah, you would probably dump some mass for the egg roll, but killing off that nuke is probably the most important thing. It's going to fire immediately, even if you kill off the SMD. Knowing that the nuke is there and using it would be very helpful. A suits there would help you with sight, says Dead 6. Love the comments here by Team 2's Dead players. GC/Monkey Lord. And that's a crab getting a lot of value out of it. Gonna probably actually kill off the monkey before it does significant damage. It will probably get in range, but it's losing 3,000 hit points per dual shot. So realistically, it's not really going to activate its main laser in time. One more shot will do it. There goes the main laser, and there he goes. That Colossus is just going to be destroyed by all of those units. Team 1's Carlos is still approaching the teleportation completion. but still a little bit ways away. And this attack will do wonders here for Team 2's front line. We are seeing some T3 artillery come in, and I'm definitely surprised. I mean, Team 2 definitely is winning the game in the air, but Team 1 not even trying to combat that. And they have... okay, never mind. I didn't see this group of ASFs down here. That is a lot of ASFs. Never mind. Missile ship is online and needs to be protected by those cruisers, which are on the edge of the map, not protecting that missile ship. So, don't know what that's about. Looks like it's going after the crab? Or the T3 Mechs. Looks like it's going after the T3 Mechs. Some of those missiles are breaking it through, but definitely would not land your ASF there. Another nuke is outbound here from Team 2 is the aggro going after this base here. For Magi, going to lose 27 mass a second plus a T2 radar. It's something. It's not a lot, but it's something at least. Probably could have even sent it over here, killed off the SMD. But more T2 PD are being built for defensive measures. Colossus has retreated a little bit. Actually, no, that's the second Colossus built, excuse me. That one's already dead. And this attack outbound from the Eggroll and not Dead 6, but Blue Shark Guy doing a decent amount of job again, still forcing back Team 1 on that western side. And as always, kaboom. Not really hugely impactful, but it's something. And missile ship gets taken out by that crab, and now this second missile ship gets out of there. Unfortunately, that crab, monkey, and FAF are going to really deal a blow to this T3 naval headquarters. Gunships coming in. This facility, I do like how far forward it was, but I don't think it was definitely worth it. Could have kept it at his main base, called it a day. Artillery is online. What is it going to target is the question. ASFs are moving in for both teams. We agree with... I mean, it would have just been better to just build a bunch of cruisers and call it a day. And that's a lot of ASFs. Team 2 sitting at 335 ASFs. Team 1's Carlos sitting at 35 plus the additional 238 plus 100. So Team 1 barely in the lead for ASF counts, but barely. So nobody has control or dominance. It's going to take one major airfight to really determine that. Why Monkey in the water, says Boom King. Well, it's going to move around and probably take out that T3 Mechs, or go after this, probably, if Eggroll knows about it. That artillery, the question is, what is it targeting? Is it in range? No, that's the wrong player. Yeah, it can go after this position. Is targeting that fire base. Oh, this will be great. The shields are down. More shields are being built. If he can take out that nuke, that'd be very crucial here for Team 1. But I feel like that might be a target for Team 2 here pretty shortly, especially with the crab, the monkey, the fat boy, and the gunships. And more pigeons are being built. More shields need to be built, which are being done. T3 and T2 being mixed in there. It looks... Actually, no, these are all T3s. Never mind. More and more Oblivions being built very, very quickly here by Osiris using the distribution orders. One shield might be enough to hold off this emissary, but really need, again, that huge missed opportunity by Osiris to just push him with the Colossus. Maybe not would have killed the aggro, but would have done a huge number on that base, at least killing the nuke off. Monkey makes it to the land, but there's a lot of PD in its way. And gunships are moving in, going after some T3 Mechs. Those Oblivion PDs just ripping through the hit points. Look at that. Look at all the hit points just being eradicated, trying to go after the emissary, I would assume. Just cannot seem to target it. Of course, there's multiple shields in the way. Wow, that little full-blown symphony of destruction, says No Getsune. Well played. And there goes another shot from that emissary. Gonna take out more of the shielding. There goes that shield. It's probably gonna hold, but it's gonna be close. That fat boy is moving in with 2 crabs. That is not looking good here for Team 1. They need gunships. They need... Well, Corsairs would help. That's a lot of Corsairs, but Team 2 is waiting for those. Will it land on the ASF? Oh, it does hit some of the ASF. And looks like artillery landing at this position as well here from... looks like the aggro possibly. Those crabs are going to do a huge number on this base. That emissary is not going to last very long. Team 1 needs something. They have a nuke. They could send it, kill off most of the hit points on both those crabs. But I don't think it's going to be enough. I was going to say, please don't tell me the emissary is going to fire at that. Another nuke outbound. That is the one. And it is going to land if those crabs... continue to sit there. It might be enough. Oh, it's not going good here for Team 1 on this eastern side. Crabs are now in range of T2 PD fire, going after the artillery, it looks like. Oh, that nuke is inbound. Will it be enough? Of course, there's an inbound going after that fat boy. And kaboom, it will kill off one of the crabs. Will the emissary survive this encounter is the question. The crab might just take that out, though. Pigeon will do some nice volatile explosions. Most of the PD have been taken out. And looks like the fat boy is perfectly fine. ASF came in and protected it. And there goes that emissary. Is not going to feel good here pretty shortly. ASF, are you going to engage? Oh, they're thinking about it. There it is. There's the engagement. Not the best turning here from Magi. And this is going to be a lot of dead ASFs on the field on Osiris's just base. Just look at all of the nonsense that is just sailing towards the ground. And while the emissary continues to fire, there it goes, it's taken out. But one of the crabs is gone. It looks like the egg roll might prevail. Team 1's ASF's not really getting any great turns in there. This is devastating for Team 1. It's probably all those hives, essentially. More ASFs were off screen. Okay, maybe. Oh, this is a lot of deaths. This is a lot of ASF deaths. Those ASF get distracted by those Corsairs for a second. It might be enough. All these ASF over here are not engaging. You need them there. Oh, here they come for another run. Another crab inbound here from the egg roll. The ASF's just sitting there. Huge engagements here by Team 1. This might be enough to kill off the rest of the ASF count. Oh, if not, it's really just going to make this fight null and void for who has air control at this point. Oh, but it looks like the egg roll might win the fight, but he's only sitting on 65 ASFs. Team 1 sitting at 16, and blue shirt guy teleports in with the Seraphim Telemazer, taking out most of the air grid here from Magi. So even if the air fight did go Team 1's way, it's not going to matter. Blue shirt guy will die. T3 air headquarters does get taken out. Will Team 1's Carlos teleport in? He is going to. I don't see his position where he's going for. 2 artilleries have been built by the egg roll. Oh, this is definitely going to be a close game. We have 3 Colossi pushing forward on the front side of the map, for the front side. On the land side of things in the west. Team 2 doesn't really have any large amounts of units to deal with this. The crabs are being sent westward to go after the remaining forces and defenses here for Team 1. So Cyrus essentially knocked out of the game. It's a 2v1 game at this point. And we have Team 1's Carlos teleports in on top of PD. Not the best choice of position. Could have teleported over here, taking out this air grid. But, yeah, that was not the best placement there. Yeah, it was not great. Now it is essentially a 1v1 game here between Magi and the aggro, with Osiris sitting in the water. 1 Colossus, 1 crab versus 2 crabs. I know who I'll bet on at this point. That probably would be Team 2. There's just so much firepower coming out of Team 2's side of the map. And that Colossus from Osiris would have changed the game. Colossus still moving in, killing everything off. You need to go for the base. You need to go for those artillery, but there's 2 crabs defending it. 1 Colossus is down, 2 remain. I would have suggested an eye, but hey, that works. I mean, yeah, it does work. Nogetsune is on Team 2. They don't have an eye because they don't have anybody who's Aeon. The 2K will manage it better, with all due respect. We'll see. There's a lot of dead stuff on the map. How much reclaim is on the map? That is a large number in ASFs. 565,000 mass. 65,000 mass on the field, if I can talk correctly. ACU going northeast says dead 6. Yeah, there he is over there. His base back here essentially just abandoned for the time being. Crab will get taken out by that crab. Killed off 124,000 mass. That was the one that probably killed off the emissary. And all of the base down here. Look at everything down here just destroyed. Look at this. Look at this reclaim field. It's nuts. Look at this thing. So many ASFs. Probably like 500 ASFs, 600 ASFs dead there. But the artillery fire has ripped to the rest of Team 1's air grids. And now it's just a land game. And at this point, Team 2 can just pump out gunships all day. They have 2 artillery as well. All of those hives making a huge difference here. We're just rapidly deploying ASFs and gunships to the field. Not really getting anywhere. It looks like Team 1 trying to go after this base here. They've spotted the egg roll. It is a 1v1 game. Well, not 1v, 2v1 game. Ravagers being built. That Colossus needs to get in range as fast as possible. The egg roll does have a shield on board and 2-star efficiency. Colossus not coming to range. Monkey now targeting that Colossus. Hit points falling very rapidly. And the Colossus is going to stop going after the Monkey. It wasn't going to matter, though. I think it would have lost enough hit points anyways. Ravagers ripping through it. Whalers coming in. That's it. There it goes. Team 1's last remaining effort. I mean, there's another Colossus back there, but there's a lot of things to chew through before we can get to egg roll's position. Does Team 1 know about where he is, I wonder? Oh, no, they see him. He's right there. And they know about the nuke, and they know about the SMD, so definitely unfortunate for Team 1. I mean, they had a lot of things going for them. Full dive with gunships, and you win now, says Nogetsune. Yeah, that's... I mean, at this point, that is the play. 46 minutes on the clock. Checkmate. Not a lot of AA surrounding him. There they go. They're moving in. They're going to go after the crab first. I mean, they can do that. They really don't need to. They're just going to kill it off because why not? ASFs, or at least what remains, trying to halt these gunships. But the growing ASF counts here for the egg roll are just going to push in. More AA. They're going to fly on through. Are they going to get the snipe? Magi trying to build some more AA to defend. He's standing next to a pigeon. Not the best thing to stand next to. Shield is going to collapse. Going to target the pigeon, get some AoE damage. Going to reclaim it and save some of his hit points. But I don't think it's going to be enough. There it goes very, very quickly in the red. 5-star veterancy, and there it is. Team 2's the egg roll wins the game. 46 minutes and 44 seconds on the clock. The egg roll, I think, deserves MVP of this game. Definitely a close game here. Actually, well, it's not the game over yet, to be fair. We do see Osiris down here in the south. I forgot that he was kind of here. But with the death of Magi, that's... Oh, wait. Egg roll's like, oh, wait, where's the god at? Color me impressed, says Nogetsune. But now it's just going to be a blitz to find the calm. The calm is going to hide in the water. But essentially the game is over at this point. There's really nothing that Team 1 can do to come back from this. And they're going to try to look for him. I mean, they're probably going to assume he's in the water. Maybe they'll use the nuke to snipe him. Who knows? He does have one loaded. Killed off 101,000 mass with it. Sneaky GC from the south. Could cheese it. Yeah, I mean, that would have worked earlier on, as I stated obviously earlier, but you have a bug online. Don't really see those a lot anymore, but, you know, they're there once in a while. I even called the match over, but then forgot about Osiris because everything else was orange. I just forgot that he was in that pond down there. Down there, I would wager, says Nogetsune. I mean, if you can't see him, he's either up there, down there, or right here. It'd be really funny if he was up here, but he would need to teleport over there, which he does not currently have. Nuke the pond. Yes, nuke it. Why not? I mean, if he's in the pond, it's either he comes out because he's going to get nuked, going to build some AA. Probably should have seen that, but I don't think they saw that. I love that idea. There goes the nuke. Going to finish off the game with a bang here. 49 minutes. There goes the comm. Kaboom! And there is the game. The egg roll wins the game, at least for his team. And honestly, I gotta give it to him. He did a very good job. Definitely warranted some more defenses on the eastern side. The cruiser play was nice, but it could have been a lot more impactful had he built more cruisers. Getting the nuke definitely helped. I mean, Team 1 knew about it for a while. I don't know why they tried to target it. I did like the play from Osiris with the emissary. Wished it was probably, you know, all the way back here, so it was more protected. But had he sent that Colossus to the west, that would have been a huge, huge grab. May have changed the fate of the game. I don't know if Team 1 would have won because of that, but egg roll would be dead, most likely. The nuke would be dead at least. And, I mean, maybe it would have opened up more land engagements, but we'll never know. Let me know down in the comments who you would pick for MVP, but I think the egg roll deserves it for this game. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate all the time and attention you give to these videos. And, of course, if you haven't done so already, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so very much. And, of course, if you haven't done so, please share this video with anyone, everyone, and especially your pets. And I will see all of you in the next one.